Welcome to the session on cosmic touch. This session is going to be very important, so please don't skip, don't forward and listen to the entire presentation. It's going to be a short presentation, but every point is important. Now, this is about Mercury turning retrograde tomorrow, which is 26th of February. And what would be the effects on various lagnas and moon signs? What are the remedies to be followed? Briefly, we'll look at this aspect. So Mercury is turning retrograde tomorrow and it will be so till 20th of March. And this is a very important period. Mercury turns retrograde twice in a year. And when Mercury turns retrograde, there are many things that are to be taken care of. The communication aspects, the paperwork, the documentation, and business aspects. This is very important for businessmen, especially those who have Mercury as their Lagna Lord or the moon sign Lord. So this presentation will cover kind of introduction into what retrogradation is and what specifically happens when Mercury turns retrograde, and specifically for each Lagna, what will be the effect, and overall what remedies can be done. So let us go to the next slide. What is this Mercury turning retrograde? This is something that appears with Earth as the reference. It is not something that really takes place in the cosmos. When you take Earth as reference with respect to its speed, it looks as if Mercury is going backwards. You must have experienced this while traveling by a train. If you have two trains which are running with the same speed, and all of a sudden one of the trains slows down, it just slows down, but it is still moving in the forward direction only. The train which is running faster, people sitting in that train tend to see the other train as moving backwards when the other train, the speed of the other train reduces. So that is what exactly happens with respect to the speed of the Earth. The speed of Mercury slows down. So it looks as if it is going backwards. It doesn't go backwards in cosmos literally, but it just appears so. But whatever appears, that will have an effect on the people. Now, so what will that cause when Mercury appears to move backwards from Earth's perspective? What does that lead to? That could lead to a retardation or slowing down of the following aspects: communication, travel, agreements, technology, decision making. So it depends on the lordship of Mercury in your way, in your specific chart, as to which aspect will be influenced. So many a times it so happens that when Mercury turns retrograde, you have gadget problem. Mobile demands a repair or laptop demands a repair. So that depends on the lordship of Mercury. Which house is owned by Mercury in your chart? Communication, for example, third house. Oh, travel, short distance travel, third house. Long distance travel, ninth house. 3, 9, and 12 for travel. So similarly, each of the aspects will be influenced by Mercury being retrograde depending on where your Mercury is placed and the lordship of Mercury in your chart. So what is this time used for? It must be used for. It is a time for introspection or retrospection. Well, not to be worried about, nothing to be panicked, nothing to panic. It's a time to stop and recalculate. You can revisit your decisions, which happens also. Many relationships, it could be a fresh start. And sometimes you get in touch with old contacts, people with whom you have not spoken for quite some time. The moment Mercury turns retrograde, you have old contacts coming up. You can feel the effect 2 to 3 days before Mercury turns retrograde also. It not that you have to wait till tomorrow. The effect of Mercury being retrograde can be felt a little prior to the actual event taking place. So these are the aspects which will be influenced. Now, what are the general points that are to be given attention to during retrogradation? There could be miscommunication or misunderstanding. There could be delays in paperwork. There's a typo here. Delays in should have been IN. Delays in paperwork or approvals. Revisiting old plans or contacts. Let me make the correction here. Miscommunication or misunderstanding is very common when Mercury is retrograde. That is why when somebody gives you an oral promise of something, if you are doing that kind of an agreement when Mercury is retrograde, you have to take a written commitment. You must take the statement in written form, because often when promises are made during Mercury retrogradation, they take the words back later. So it is advisable not to make any kind of agreement when Mercury is retrograde. If you are talking about, say, selling a plot or a flat, or buying a plot or a flat or anything, you dilly-dally it till 20th of March when the Mercury retrogradation ends. So you have to be very careful about paperwork, documentation and all. That demands correction often. So then delays in paperwork, if you have applied for a loan or anything that you have applied for, there will be delays because the documents will come back for correction. They will ask for correction. So then similarly, revisiting old plans or contacts. You may revisit your decision or decision that you have taken a while ago. When Mercury is retro, you revisit the decision and then you take a fresh decision. That can happen. As I said, old contacts can surface up. And you have to double check every piece of information, the emails that you receive, financial commitments, documents, anything that you receive, you have to double check them because there is high probability of a requirement for correction when Mercury is retrograde. And there will be mental restlessness. In Buddha-graham, this represents the mind also. No? So when Mercury is retrograde, there can be mental restlessness. So who will feel it more? On which horoscopes would you see a profound effect of Mercury retrogradation? Number one, those who are running the Dasha Bhukti Antara of Mercury. Mercury Mahadasha, Mercury Antardasha, Mercury Pratyantardasha. For that period of time, you will feel the effect very strongly. Then ascendants, Gemini or Virgo, because the Lagna Lord of Gemini and Virgo is Mercury. Or moon sign Gemini, or if moon is in Gemini or moon is in Virgo, they also will be affected when Mercury turns retrograde because Gemini and Virgo is owned by Mercury. Then all those houses which are activated, strong Mercury houses, like wherever Mercury is placed. If Mercury, for example, is placed in the ninth house, ninth house aspects require a correction. People in business and communication, they will suffer if they don't take care of the documents, the communication that they make. Any verbal commitment is prone to change with time. So when Mercury is retro, don't take any verbal communication for granted. You need to have a written evidence, double check it, and only then you take the decision. So people in business and communication, they will have to be very careful. These are the people who will feel the effect of retrogradation. So the basic concept is Mercury in retrogradation will influence the houses that it either rules or it is placed. Now in KP, we also have to look at the sublordship, with the sublord of which cusp is Mercury the sublord, of which cusp is Mercury, the star lord, those aspects will also be influenced. Those planets which are in the Mercury star, for example, if you're running the Antardasha of Jupiter, and let us say in your chart, Jupiter is placed in the star of Mercury, and now Mercury is retrograde, then you will have to be careful. But not always you have negative effects. Sometimes the results that you don't get when Mercury is direct, you get when Mercury turns retrograde. That is also possible, but depends on the design of the horoscope. So the results will depend on the lordship and the functional role. If it is a functional benefit, then you will have different results. If it's a functional malefic, then you will have obviously different results. So you have to be careful in either case. Now we'll go one by one for each lagna. What is going to be the effect of Mercury turning retrograde? Now you can consider this for the moon sign of Aries also. Somebody whose moon is present in Aries, they will also feel this, and Aries lagna also. For both you can apply this. The difference is with lagna, the event that occurs can be predicted. With the moon sign, that is what you feel. Now, for example, if we talk about financial, or if you talk about stress in the workplace, when you're talking counting from the lagna, if you are talking about the 10th house, in the 10th house you have many planets. Let us say the work pressure increases. And from moon sign, if it is the 10th house, from lagna it is the 10th house for somebody. From moon sign it is the 10th house for somebody else. So from moon sign in the 10th house, when you have so many planets, the stress will be felt, irrespective of whether it is there in that magnitude or not. The person feels the stress. From lagna, it is actually stress present. But what you feel is more from the moon sign. So one by one, we'll look at all the lagnas. For Aries lagna, Mercury is the 3rd and 6th law. 3 represents communication, 3 represents siblings, 3 represents short distance travel. 3 is the Parakrama Bhava. 6th house is the Roga Rena Ripusthana. So disease, debts, and animosity, enemies, Shatrutva. These aspects will require a correction. So communication and conflicts, those aspects, in that you will have to be careful. So because it rules your 3rd house, Aries people have to be very, very careful while communicating. Better be silent. But even if you are silent, if Mercury is retrograde, there will be some or the other kind of disputes coming up. Moreover, it is your 6th lord also. So 3rd and 6th getting activated with Mercury retrograde, there will be arguments, there will be stress. The health will also be affected. 6 is Rogasthana. So your immunity might go down. So be careful with all those aspects. Well, for Taurus, it is the 2nd and 5th house. 2nd is the house of the family, house, the wealth, speech, food, all these aspects. And 5 is entertainment, 5 children, 5 love life, business, all these aspects. You will have to be careful with. Be careful when you eat something outside. Take care that it is in a hygienic place, it is cooked well, and try avoiding eating outside during this Mercury retrogradation period. So even in the entertainment choice that you make, your love life decisions that you make, you will have to ponder on the points and take a wise decision. So there will be some problem with respect to finances. So financial reassessment will be essential, and will also be emotionally sensitive. So you may get triggered with the slightest point that somebody raises against you, or there could be arguments that simply sprout out of nothing. So be careful with that. And then for Gemini, it is your lagna and 4th lord. So the correction with respect to self, your own behavior, your own appearance, your emotional foundation is to be revisited, self-reflection. Then 4 is also responsible for the domestic happiness. Then immovable assets, vehicles. So be careful when you are driving a vehicle. Your 4th lord is turning retrograde. Also take care of your mother's health. So immobile assets and all, there may be some correction required. There could be some renovation, or there could be a decision to either sell, or if you are already, if you have decided to sell it, then you might revisit your decision and hold the decision not to sell it. So those things might happen. For Cancer Lagna, this is the third and 12th law. Overthinking, sleep disturbance. Third lord, Parakrama Bhava, again, communication, siblings, short distance travel. All these aspects need a focus. 12 indicates isolation, 12 indicates hospitalizations, 12 indicates detachment, 12 indicates expenditure. So there could be a correction with respect to the expenditure that you make. Then for Leo, this is the second and 11th house. 11 is your wish fulfillment house. Second is again the wealth house, family, speech, food. So be careful with that. Income and gains. Your wish fulfillment, you might revisit your decision regarding your wish fulfillment. If you have been focusing on something so far, you might think this is something that is actually wasting my time. So I better focus on something else. So you might leave a desire, you might drop a desire, but that desire dropping is not out of frustration. It is out of revisit. You think, rethink. So the desire will drop as a fruit falls from a tree, a ripe fruit falls from a tree. But when you make the decision, you be careful with it. So, those are the things. Then Virgo, it is the first and 10th lord. First is yourself. So, your self identity, the self care, those aspects. And then 10th house of the Karmasthana, career related aspects. They need a revisiting, they need some focus, self analysis. So, you might think that the activities that you have been so far doing in your workplace are not fetching you enough. So you might think that, okay, let me take up this course, let me do a short-term course, or let me take up a part-time job, or let me change the job. But changing the job at this time is not advisable. Even if you have been offered some other job other than what you're already doing, hold it till 20th of March. And only then you take the decision. In Libra, it is a 9th and 12th lord. So long distance travels, then your dharma, your belief system, those aspects will also be governed by the 9th house. 12th, as I told you, it indicates isolation, expenditure, hospitalization. 12 indicates loss. So investment could be an investment. With respect to investment also, you have to check whether it is going to fetch or not. It is spiritual reflection. There may be a spiritual travel. You might travel. If 11 is also activated, you might travel also. For Scorpio, this is the 8th and 11th. So there could be sudden change. 8 indicates any sudden change. 8 indicates inheritance. 8 indicates secret matters. So there could be some secret love affairs, which might be as a result of a re-establishment of an old contract. Emotionally intense, because Scorpio is a watery sign, and 8 indicates a secret, occult, also occult signs and all those aspects. So that's for Scorpio. Then for Sagittarius, it is a 7th and 10th lord. Very, very, very careful you have to be, because 7th lord is turning retro. 7th lord turning retro, you may have problems with one-to-one relationships. Could be with spouse, could be business partnership, could be any one-to-one relationship. Be very careful in communication, in discussions and all. Don't be aggressive. Sagittarius people are actually ruled by Jupiter. So the Lagna Lord is Jupiter, and you will have lot of data in your brain. So when you discuss also, you come with a lot of data. It's not easy to sit for a debate with you, but because Mercury is retrograde, you have to be careful. Though you are knowledgeable, there will still be some problems springing up. The partnerships and all the career-related aspects, all those things have to be taken care of. So for Capricorn is the 6th and 9th lord. So 6th is, as I told you, Roga Rina Retrosthana. So health is to be taken care of. Debts are to be taken care of. And disputes This is the Ripustana. So you may differ in opinion with someone, and that might lead to a gap in the friendship. Then the ninth lord, as I told you, the dharma, your belief system, long distance travel. Father's health can also be affected. So you just have to check. And relationship with father can also, there can be some friction in the relationship with father. Or any fatherly personality. If not father, fatherly personality. So work stress would be there. There can be some legal aspects also which might need a correction. And for Aquarius, this rules the fifth and eighth houses. So creativity, entertainment, children, sudden changes, then inheritance aspects, occult sciences, deep introspection is required. And Aquarius Lagna have to be very cautious because so many planets are sitting in Aquarius. So many planets in Aquarius. Aquarius is overloaded. So in so many planets in the Lagna, with Jupiter being retrograde and aspecting these planets, it is not easy. So there are points that are to be taken care. Then Pisces is a fourth and seventh, as I said, fourth indicates mother, immobile assets, vehicles, domestic happiness. All those matters need attention. Then seven, partnerships, relation with spouse, one-to-one relationships, business partnerships. At home, you have to be reasonably less talkative. Don't talk much. Then you can say silence can solve many problems. But Mercury in retrogradation will not let you be silent. It will trigger you. It will trigger you, then arguments will come. So when that happens, you realize that, okay, this is because Mercury is retro. So it is better I hold myself and then make the situation calm and let it pass. And 20th of March, anyway, things are going to come back to normal. So, in Mercury being Mercury retrogradation, remedies that are to be done by everybody include chanting Vishnu Sahasranamam. Everybody should recite Vishnu Sahasranamam and never worship one energy singular, like male. You are worshipping Vishnu. If you are reciting Vishnu Sahasranamam, that is only masculine energy you are worshipping. When you recite Vishnu Sahasranamam, you also have to recite the Lakshmi Ashtottara Shatanamavali. So don't worship only masculine energy or only feminine energy. There are many people who worship only Goddess Lakshmi. When you are worshipping Goddess Lakshmi, you have to worship Lord Vishnu also. So only feminine energy, only masculine energy shouldn't be worshipped. You need a balance of both masculine and feminine energies. So Vishnu Sahasranamam, then Buddha mantra, you have in Navagraha Stotra, you have Buddha Shlokam, one Shlokam for Buddha Graha also. Now you can recite. Then there are Bija mantras. They shouldn't be actually recited. Bija mantra should not be recited through a microphone like this. So they're all available in the net. You can recite them. Then you can donate green items and especially green bangles. Green bangles to women. You can give them. Women in the sense, anybody in your family can donate green bangles to your wife. You can donate. You can give. It's not called a donation. You can gift. You can gift green bangles to your sister. Anybody, and you can also give moong dal or green gram as a donation in a temple. But when you go to temple for a donation these days, the process has become too commercial. The priest doesn't even bother to uh, give you and tell that sankalpam that you are donating this for the alleviation of any bad effects, malefic effects due to Mercury retrogradation, everything. They simply take the green gram that you give and they ask for some dakshina and then they say you give. So if that is the way the priests are behaving, then it is unfortunate. But then do whatever you can. You can alleviate. You can get rid of the malefic effects of Mercury retrogradation. So that's all for this session. If you're watching my channel for the first time, please do subscribe. There are many things that I'm going to discuss shortly. Yesterday, I shared a video on nakshatra activation for those born in Bharani. So next in sequence is Kritika. So we will discuss the nakshatra activation for those born in Kritika. Those who want a personal consultation can contact me. My mobile number is there in the about section. I've given my mobile number. You can also text me here and I will respond. So any analysis that you want with respect to your horoscope, or if you want to attend some classes, I have shared the links to WhatsApp groups for Kaudi Vidya and also for Vedic astrology. If you are interested, you can join the group. Once we get a set of 20 students, we can start the classes. So thanks for watching. Stay happy, stay blessed. Don't worry about Mercury retrogradation. It is just a time for you to introspect. So just introspect and then take a wise decision. Have a bright future.